Hey, I'm Jax, and I'm gonna answer the age-old question. Can I turn this tent into a corset to make the tent set by not just using the fabric, but also the wires on the inside for the bones? That's what we're doing. There's a lot of bugs. I'm gonna go back inside now. Let's start designing the tent set. So first, we're gonna wrap our form in saran wrap. Now we tape. Now let's actually start designing what I want the tent set to look like. So let's add the center front, the side, and the center back. Okay, so one of the things that I want to do on this one is I want to have a zipper down the center front. So let me measure out where this bottom should be. So my zipper is 12 inches. Let us mark right there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what the tent set design is going to be. For this one, I want to keep it a little bit more on the simple side because of the wire of the tent. It's a lot thicker than like normal bones, so I don't know how much like curve. It looks like there's a lot of curve like in the actual tent, but when it gets into the corset, I want it to actually function. So we're doing super straight lines just to make sure that it does. So now we gotta cut this off the form. So let's do that. Now let's switch camera angles. Alrighty, so now we gotta cut out each individual piece. So let's do that. Cool, now let's turn this into an actual pattern. So first we gotta add our seam allowance. So how we're gonna do that, we're gonna pin our piece down like so. Then we tape the piece down. Then we add our seam allowance, which is going to be 1/2 inch. Now we cut it out. Now let's do it for the rest of the pieces. So here is the pattern. Now I think it's time to start tearing apart our tents. That way we can actually cut the tent set. Yeah. All right, let me figure out what camera angle I'm gonna do. Maybe it's gonna stay here, maybe it's not. You're gonna know sooner than I do. So let's do that. Okay, so here's the plan. We gotta take this and chop it into tiny little pieces. So let's do that. Okay, where are my scissors? So what I want to do is cut out the black strip so that way I can use that for the bone channels, and take out the actual like boning so that way this can decompress a little bit. So let's try to do that as cleanly as possible. Okay, I think I need to try and chop this. Okay, this is really difficult to handle. So I think what I'm gonna do here is try cutting the bones. Let's hope this works. Well, that doesn't work, but I do have a backup plan for that. Bolt cutters. Ah, that works. This is so much longer than I expected. Ah. I think they're free. Let's switch back to the other camera angle so that way we can actually cut out the pattern, and I'm gonna figure out where to actually keep these while I'm working and grab them when I need them again. This is so fun. I got a new camera. I can do this. Look at it go. Yeah. Okay, so we got all of our fabric from the tent. So now let's start cutting pieces out of it. Okay, so while we're cutting this out, I'm gonna explain my thought process. So I want the front and the very back of the tent set to have this white, because on the tent, there's also this little white section. So I thought it'd be fun to like visually connect the two. And then the rest of it is gonna be gray because that's the main color of the tent that we're using. After we cut out all the pieces that are from the tent, we're gonna cut out our interfacing so that way it's nice and strong and a better corset. Cool. Now, let's get to sewing. All right, it's time to do a little bit of prep work here. We're just attaching our face to our interfacing here, so let's just get that done real quick. Again, we're just gonna lay our face to our interfacing so that way we give our corset structure, because it's not a corset without structure. Yippee! Now, let's put the zipper in first. So I got our zipper here. What we're gonna do is start a half an inch down from here. Okay, so I'm gonna separate them. All right, let's explain how to attach the zipper, or at least how I'm attaching it. I'm laying the zipper on top of our face. Then we're gonna sew it down. After that, we're gonna attach our lining on top of the zipper so it's like a sandwich, like an ice cream sandwich. You got your two pieces of the cookie, and then the ice cream is the zipper. And then you're gonna flip it around, add a top stitch, and kaboom! Zipper is completed. You just do that on both sides and then you can zip it up. Sweet. Okay, so now that the zipper is put in here, we can start attaching all the pieces. Now let's start making the actual body of the corset. So for this construction, we are doing external bone channels because we're gonna use that black strip that we took off the tent as the actual bone channels to tie it into the tent because it is the tent set. Yeah, so we're putting wrong sides together this time so that way we have a nice clean finish. After we get all the pieces together, we're gonna head over to the serger so that way we can clean it up, and then after we clean it up, we can add our bone channels, but I'll explain more when we get there. Our two halves are now done. I need to head over to the serger. Before I do that, I think I'm gonna make the lining so that way I can serge everything at the same time. Lining, you just kind of sew half an inch, nothing special, right sides together. That's it. Not everything's ultra complicated. Okay, now everything is all sewn up, so let us head over to the serger and we can clean our edges here. We're at the serger now. Let's explain a little bit more. So I'm just basically giving this a nice clean finish. What the serger does is attaches the two seams together so that way they don't go anywhere. They don't separate, and it's easier for me to sew the bone channels on. It's an extra step of prep work. Is this step necessary? No, but since I have the machine, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so now it's time to put the bone I don't know if I'm on camera. Now it's time to put the bone channels in. This is POV, you're giving your sewing machine a break from the unspeakable horrors and actually sewing with fabric. So let's do that. So super simple, we're just doing external bone channels. They're a little bit larger than normal because we're not using regular bones. Again, we're gonna be using the wiring from the actual tent. So they're going to be a little bit bigger so that way there's actually space for the bones. Cool, now let's do that for the rest of them. I'm back. Let's explain external bone channels. So the way that external bone channels work is that you're basically just covering that seam that we made earlier with the bone channel. So we're just sewing right on top a 1/4 inch stitch. So that way we have a place to put the bones. Now, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the fabric. It's not quite tier list time. We're almost to the tier list. But since we're not just using the fabric in the tier list, we're also using the bones because that's everything that we're using from the tent. I'm not gonna put it on the tier list, but I will tell you how I'm feeling right now. Right now, it's like a B tier. We're hovering around BC tier. It's fabric, so it's gonna be a little bit higher up on the tier list, but It's the annoying kind of fabric. This stuff slips and slides. Right now I'm like, oh, this is great. It's nice and easy and chill to do. Once you start sewing the fabric of the tent just on top of the fabric of the tent without the interfacing, it's like a slip and slide. It's not very fun. It's just more annoying than anything because it doesn't stay put where you want it. So you have to put a little extra effort into it. It's not that big of a deal, but it is something to consider. Now we're gonna take the wire and try to put it into the corset. That's the plan. We're gonna take these giant long sticks and try to put them into the corset. Let's give it a shot. This is kind of funny. So I'm cutting out the exact measurements of how long we want the wire to be inside of the corset, but because of how long the actual wire was, I needed to like hold it like I'm riding one of those, you know, stick horses. I don't know, I was amused with myself while doing this. Okay, after we cut out all the wires, we add our heat shrink around the edge to finish off the edge, and then we put it into the channels. Yippee! Okay, cool. Now let's attach our lining and our edge. We're almost there. Yeah. Let's switch camera angles. It's almost 5 a.m. and I'm still working. I need to sleep. I mustn't. I must keep working. Where's the button? Now it's time to attach the lining to the face. We already have 2 pieces of the lining actually attached onto it, so we're just attaching the rest of the lining that isn't attached to those 2 pieces that are already attached on the corset. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I'm not explaining it anymore. While trying to flip it, I had to take out the rest of the bones because they wouldn't move. I know you saw how flexible it was earlier, but once you made them little tiny and smaller, they stopped being flexible. Which brings us to our tier list while we're attaching our finish around the edge. It's super simple. We're just adding a little finish with the black tape. But it's tier list time! Let's go! The tent, using all of it, is a D tier. It's D tier. It doesn't really work. Because the wire in the actual tent stiffens up, especially if you're doing like a corset. I mean, it would be fine if it was like a waist cincher, but we're doing the tent set, not the tent cincher. There's no tolerance for curve in the wiring, so it brings it all the way down. You'll see once it's laced up on the form. But before we get there, maybe if you've stuck this far in the video, if you wanna leave a like, subscribe, maybe drop a comment of what weird material I should use next. Okay, we can go back to the video. So now we gotta add in our grommets. Let us do that. Let's put on the grommets. We are adding grommets. There will be loud hammers. I'm doing my best impression of your upstairs neighbor. Is that the funny? I think that's a funny. I don't know. Okay, grommets are in. Let's put it on the form and take a look. Let's lace it up. This thing is really weird. So I barely got it laced up. The wire from the actual tent, like big mode is fine, but when I cut it down, it's like there's no motion in it. That's so odd. I mean, it's on the form, right? There it is. Weird. Like it's not like moving like at all. Okay, I need to go to sleep. I will be back with a more coherent explanation of what's going on. I got thoughts in my head, but it was dark when I started working. The sun's out. It's overcast, but the sun's out now. I need to go to sleep. It's 6 a.m. Okay, good night. It's sleepy time. So here are the thoughts that I was thinking. I didn't fully understand how tense the wire inside of the tent was going to become. So it stopped it from actually functioning like a proper corset. There are corsets that have this similar design where it's very straight and with not a lot of curve, but that's a completely different pattern than what I was trying to go for. What I was trying to go for, in the bones, there has to be a little bit more maneuverability and flexibility. So the answer to the age-old question, can you turn a tent into a corset? It's technically yes, but I just kind of used the wrong pattern to make everything function 100% awesomely. You know? But you know, it's still on the form. I got it laced up. It's not comfortable. No one should ever wear this. This is not a comfortable thing to wear. I can just tell by looking at it. Like when I was lacing it up, it got stuck around the side, and the side seams didn't actually make it to the sides when I was pulling it tight. It would not move. So, it's a technically yes, but really it's like a no.